All right, so here I'm showing you on charts for today. So I have MEQ here, I have natural gas. I'm going to discuss natural gas. I'm just gonna do the old what we do and get my video out the way. We're gonna do a full screen. All right, here we got natural gas, right? So here you have previous levels, this previous box where natural gas broke here, broke structure here, broke structure here. And even when they broke structure here, it did a retracement back into these previous lows and continued down. All right. Here, natural gas is one of those seasonality things through the summer, even the fall. You may see jump spikes up or down when people starting to use it. Right now, as the weather changes, people are probably using their gas as much. Um, and so things are down, right? So I just wanted to give you a perspective on it. So these little boxes and levels are previous levels I've used to entry points, take profits, anything you can think of, right? But here we've been trading in this range for a little while, probably since about beginning of August when it hit these levels. Now it's been trading between these highs and these lows. Okay. Now, if we look at year over year, I'm on the hour chart now, but year over year, these are low. The market is at the lows for natural gas. Um, what you want to think about is, okay, well, it was at lows. When was the last time it broke this low? So let's go back. So I'm going to go back to the day chart. Gives you a better visual. Okay. So obviously we're looking at the last time. uh, Let's see. All right, let's look at this. So last time, let's even clear some of these lines out so you have a better idea how this looks. So I'll put this on YouTube. It's on YouTube, so I like keeping my levels, especially when it's ranging. Gives me a better idea. So I can always go back and replace them. It's no biggie. I wonder if you guys get a better visual of what is happening here. Okay. So this is where we are. Let's take this arrow out. All right. I was in the way. So this is where it's at now, around $3.08. Um, last time I actually broke it was here. We're looking at November 2024. So about 11 months. Last time it made a considerable drop when it was around 225, $2.57. You're looking at around August 2024. So based off this right here, it looks like it's going to break. Now it has broke the lows. So let's come here and let me just reset this so we have a better look. All right, let's hide the volume indicator real quick so you won't see that. Okay. So now that you are looking, okay. So it is most recent low has broke this level right here. Okay. Now, this is on the day. So that tells me it's a very high chance that it can start testing maybe that 288. And just look at this candle. It tried to get back at these levels. It swept some liquidity above here, right? This was in this right here probably got a lot of fake outs because people probably those who get this little fair value gap up here. But let's see, right? However, it did not. So people, if you was trading for the buy up in here and you thought it was gonna go up there, it just swept liquidity up here at the top of this wick. Immediately came down, indicated here that it wanted to break. These little small levels on the lower time frame were these two wicks right here, these two green candles, right on these little doji can type candles, right? Came back here and then it retraced back up, closed above, but it also closed above and sold. It wasn't ready to go back up here. Look at this engulfing candle, which means that the candle, this red candle is bigger than this green candle, which shows that it was a failed buy signal here, and was probably faked a lot of people, and then it just started to crash over the last few days. Okay, and so that just tells me it broke these levels, broke structure here, and because it broke structure here, now I'm on top step, so that's why you see this. I'm see if I can remove it. Can't remove these. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There you go. All right, these candles and this day candle. Look at this. It opened and closed below this candle. I'm looking for sales. What I would like to see is a retracement up here, somewhere into this candle, around these lows, to retake it back down, to take it back down. Now, do I know where it's going to go? No. But I would imagine it may test that level around two eight something. Look, it's down here. So I would imagine it would test this level next, which is around 2884. Okay. That's what I was looking for honestly. I mean, look at this head and shoulders up there. Again, this big M that it created. And it just kept making lower lows. Basically almost equal highs, but this one is lower, right? Broke here, broke structure right here, and then retraced up, then continue to break structure into these lows here. All right, look at this. Broke it, broke structure here, started trading to these previous ranging highs, and started trading below all these lows where it ranges and was kind of resisting up in this level right here, right here, right? And so this should tell you like once it came back to this level, bounced off of here, that should make you think, okay, it's probably going to test it one more time, right? And give you a continuation of the head and shoulders. So you should have been looking, once it didn't break above here and close above here, this was an indication to jump in the sell right here, right? And a lot of times when you trade, it's hard to see it live because you're so focused on entry points and what it's doing and worrying about getting to bad trades or is my trade good. Understand your setup. Okay. I'm big on levels of resistance, support, and where you see a lot of volume. If you look at here, this is where a lot of volume, once it hit this level, it drops. Even here, when it broke from this level, it continued to drop to these levels above these little highs right here. Right? This is basically, I always look at this like almost equal highs, right? Because it's like right here. But here, when they came to this level, it wicked here, which always tells me it's a potential. When the wicks start getting shorter, on a larger time frames, that tells me that it's maybe it's starting to want to go towards that direction. And then when they retrace back from the bounce off these highs, and it stopped here and it didn't even try to test this or come up here, let me know immediately. Like, let me know, hey, I'm not gonna test this out. I'm gonna continue down. And it broke structure again. It already broke structure here. That should let you know that it may be looking to potentially break and continue down. But when it retraced back into these lows right here, you should have been looking like, hold up, it's tracing back into it. Then it wicked. Your entry could have been in between these two lines here would have been good. And look, all that you could have caught. In my entry, you TP1 would have been like right around here, the body of this. Then down here, you could have had 3, 4 TPs at this level, especially when you get to this level, that should have been an automatic TP. Because you know it's test this level multiple times. Okay. Even within this range on the short term, look at this triple top, but it didn't triple top and go up. It triple top and continued down and broke these two lows right here, which tells me that it's a good chance that it's going to continue to sell. The market does what it wants to do. So um, I'm looking for sales here personally. To me, it broke structure, and on this daily candle, it's closed up below all of these previous lows. Every single one. Every single one. Right? All of this was a buyer that was trying to push it up that couldn't push it up. Bunch of buyers. So it shows some indecision right there. When it hit that point, sellers jumped in and was like, nah, we ain't going up. And they broke these levels. I'm on a daily candle. Remember, this been happening they've been trading in this level for months. They've been trading at these levels, at these previous highs. Look at the pattern, right? Look at these patterns, right? Look at that. Look at these patterns here. You got the W here, you got another M right here, got the W. If you look at the bigger W, look at every time it makes big moves, it hits certain levels. So boom, right here. Boom, right here. When it hits these levels, this is a wick. I came down here. It bounces, it bounces. When it hit these levels, it tends to reject. Look at these wicks. The wicks could be TPs and stop losses as well. Stop loss for me personally, if I'm taking a sell, say I took this candle right here and took a sell, my wick, a tight stop loss would be if I got in after it wicked up on this red candle, I will get in around here somewhere. My TP will be above this green wick. Now, this is also natural gas. I'm on a daily, so let's kind of break that down. So, like for instance, if I couldn't get here and I see it bounce, looking at this previous wick, it swept a little bit right here above this candle, but immediately pushed down to a little pin bar. If you couldn't get in here, say you got in right here, you got in late, right? Well, natural gas is a mini. You do not want to, unless you have a full account, but if you try prop firm, you want to make sure you're good. Seriously. Okay. So if I got in maybe at the top of this candle, top, I will literally make my wick above my stop loss above this. Knowing it's a good chance, like if it comes up here, being that it already wicked up here, I'm probably gonna be safe. Okay. A safer stop loss maybe like right at the body. Just to give yourself some leeway. Right here, retrace back into my box, bounce, fell back to these lows, broke structure here, right? But here will get people. There's this fake out here, right? Because it broke structure, but it wasn't ready because it still wicks at these levels. It wasn't quite ready. And when it broke, it didn't really break pretty strong. It broke the body, but it didn't break the wick strong enough for me. Here, it bounced off this wick, off this shoulder, back into here. So you can be looking at buys here. Check this out. Okay. These are also ways to sign right here, where this green candle right here popped up. Also look at potentially where it's wicked here in the past or bounced off this level up in here. So these are always levels you should look at for potential reversals and retracements, which it did. Trace and played in here, then retraced all the way back up here, and then it was ready to fall. And it broke structure here, here, and then when it broke structure here, what you because of this, if you didn't missed all of this, this was an indication that because it bounced here, you should know that it could retrace around this level. But once you see it didn't break above this little BS stuff right here, it should allow you to get in somewhere in this candle here for continuation. So I try to keep it simple, but I like to look at levels and kind of break down what I'm looking at, um, make things easier for you guys. Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I think this is going to continue to sell personally. But if I was to take this, I would love a retracement back up in here. And then as long as it stay below here, I said stay below this wick, I would love to take a sell here. But it's already like it's continuing to fall off. So that's my natural gas. Look at. All right. I'm out. Profit Playground. Please like, comment, subscribe, y'all, if y'all like this. I'm not gonna sell y'all anything. I just want y'all to see how I kind of look at the market. So yeah, I'm out.